Hello, Flosstube.
Greetings.
I'm Laura.
Hi, Joe.
Welcome to the Slovak Farm.
Let me see. Welcome to all of our returning subscribers. Welcome to anybody who subscribed. Welcome to all you new people. We do Flosstube here, and we're not exactly normal. You're looking for normal? Fine.
We're here to talk about our cross stitch.
I said that.
Apparently, there's a YouTube algorithm that, if you say it within first 30 seconds, anyways. I'm sick. Forgive my voice. Nothing I can do about it. I work with little germ factories. This weekend was 24 hours of cross stitch. Marathon weekend, where you could stitch for 24 hours straight if you're nuts. Or you could stitch for 24 hours over a 3-day weekend.
If you're still nuts. Not as nuts.
I actually made it to 24 hours this year. Shocking. Normally I don't make it to 24 hours because we're busy, but we didn't do market this weekend. So I sat and stitched all weekend. What else did we do this weekend?
I went and bugged Shelly. I got stabbed. Traffic hated me twice in a row.
There was a sale at Just Stitching this weekend. That's why we went and bugged Shelly.
Yeah. But that's covered in the haul.
Well, we'll show you what we got when we get to haul, but we went to Shelly's for a sale this weekend. It was her winter blues sale. Sorry. Froggy. I decided to swallow the frog. At least it's not running rampant in my cross stitch. So.
That's one way of doing it. You know, the cat would have been happy to do it for you, right?
I'm sure. When we get done with the intro, I'm going to get up and walk across the room and grab my tea. Woke up yesterday morning to some very sad news for the Flosstube community. Leanne, half of Lost and Floss, had passed away from her battle with breast cancer. Very sad to hear that. She was a bright and bubbly person. I never got to meet her in person, but everybody that I know that has met her, that got to meet her, said she was just as wonderful in person as she was on Flosstube. So, very sad to hear about that. I'm sure her BFF Barb is having a rough go of it. I'm sure her family, because she had, I think, 3 boys. 3 boys that were, I don't know if the last one was out of high school yet, but they were young. So, very sad to hear about that. Why don't you tell us who gave us love this week?
Glenna, Bridget, Carla, Lynn, and your fingers in the way.
Joni. Joni reminded me of something we'll get to when we get to whips, which we'll get to right now.
Okay.
Pause, please. Whips.
Yay.
What'd you whip on?
Dragons of Sumatra by Ink Circles. As some people have commented, I might have a little bit of an Ink Circle obsession. I don't like everything they make. I only like half. Hey, how many designers make stuff like repeatedly like?
I know. I was drinking my tea the other day at work, and I was like, oh, look, I'm a Facebook meme, because I was, like, doing the whole sip tea thing. Anyways.
I put it back onto the Q-Snap. I love my frame, but it's heavy. It actually hurts my arm after about, like, a half hour to an hour. Just got, like, ear to ear done. That area right there. Didn't do much stitching. But you get some.
Okay.
I didn't do no 24 hours, that's for sure. But next time she does that, let me know and I'll actually try that with my plans.
It's the end of April.
Okay.
I don't know if it's our weekend off of market again or not.
You can make it.
Okay. We were on Superstition Mountain last week for daily 30. It's daily 30 cross-stitch journaling and daily 30, I think same. And it's kind of irrelevant because it's a closed group and there's no wait list to get in. When she has spaces opened up, she'll let us know. And if you've told me you want in, I will try to let you know as soon as possible. I make no guarantees. It is what it is. She keeps the group small, intentional, so I tell you all that every single week. I'm going to tell you all that every single week. Just so that you remember.
You should get a really big disclaimer and just have it pop up on the screen.
Yes.
With a little like animation where it just highlights the words as you go.
So we were on Superstition Mountain. And we were doing challenges related to Superstition Mountain. So, the first challenge I stitched on, these are not in order. I think I've said that before. So, the first challenge I stitched on was to stitch on something with a J or a W. Because Joseph Waltz, Joni reminded me that was his last name because I couldn't remember last week. With a J or a W.
That's what your finger was covering.
That's what I was covering because I didn't want you to be like. Anyways. So Ride for Singing has several W's on it. That's what it's gonna look like when it's done, sort of, kind of, maybe.
Close enough where unless you're with a magnifying glass.
My colors are different than called for. My flowers are brighter. I think my colors are a little bit brighter. My fabric's a little bit darker than her called for. So that's where I'm at, excuse me, as a whole.
Laura didn't use the called for. Call an ambulance. I'm dying of shock. Love you, honey.
This is where I'm at. This is what I stitched on. I finished filling in.
Well, you're committed.
The block with my initials in it, and I started King Alfred the Great, who the quote is attributed to. Yep, I am committed
2020
to finishing this year. This is one of my finished 12 in 2020, I think is what I hashtagged it. I'll stick it below.
And if it gets into November and that's not done, I'm hiding everything else.
This will get done before. So, what I actually have left on it, in case you care, is King Alfred the Great, or I need to finish what Alfred's finished, so I need to finish the Great, and then I have to put
the elephant in the room,
the border on the bottom of this side, and the big old horse with the woman on. So, I'm actually not too far from being done.
Are you doing that in black?
I'm doing it in a overdyed I got from Victorian Motto. I was going to try to like give you guys my color conversions, but I realized most of my conversions are Victorian Mottos out of the monthly boxes that you guys really don't have access to unless you're a subscriber. So, yeah, sorry about that.
And they're not repeatable, are they?
She generally does not repeat them, no.
So most of those colors probably don't exist anymore. I mean, that was the project that somebody luckily needed and you had, and they had and you needed, so you traded.
Yeah, somebody had the black I needed because I needed just a little bit more black for the horse and rider, and they were able to. I was able to get a little bit more from somebody. So, Superstition Mountain got its nickname from the local farmers. So we had to stitch on something that farmers would grow. And I went with my giant flower clock. I am stitching the 3-panel version. This is a kit I got off of eBay 9 years ago when we moved into this house.
We have not lived in this house for 9 years, have we?
We've lived in this house since February of 2011. Maybe 8 years. Maybe it was 2012. But yes, we've lived in this house that long. And I started the final panel. This is on 11 count. It is in the kit threads.
It predates her color substitution.
Yes. This is a really cheap Ada, so it's crunchy. And I did 313 stitches on this. That's 313 stitches. I did 343 stitches on Ride Forth Singing. Ride Forth Singing is on Silk Weavers.
Oh,
Pink Champagne.
And mine's on...
Dragons of Sumatra is on 16 count. Thunderstorm. Ride Forth Singing is a 14 count.
I forgot who makes mine.
Betcha this plus.
Make sure this was
Okay. Then I had to stitch on something that had a legend with it. Whether it be at the end or, you know, it had a legend. Santa's house is a legend, obviously.
Insert random book or movie here.
Mm-hmm. This project's going to be legendary by the time I get it done. This was the 2018 Tiny Modernist Christmas Sal. I am stitching it on a 14 count. Opalescence Mountain Rose by Silk Weavers. I finished the bottom, or I stitched on the bottom there. The bottom. So the bottom is all done. I also stitched on this for my final monthly building my snowman. I needed to stitch on something that had an accessory you would put on a snowman. There's plenty of hats going on in this guy. Yes. Yes.
You have all of it right there. Plus, would snow be technically considered an accessory?
So we finished the bottom, and then I went up here and I did the snowflakes on the top. They're very hard to see in the camera. You can see them in real life. It's just the camera's not picking them up. And started this side, the scene on this side.
I need to figure out how to turn the auto brightness off.
So for the weekly challenge for it, I did 306.5 stitches because there was some backstitch counted for that. Backstitch counts as half. And for the monthly, I put in 505 stitches on it.
I expect you to say 505.5.
Nope. Then we had to stitch on something that we could say was a map. Here's my map. Cardinal Points by Long Dog Sampler. You obviously need your cardinal points on your map, and this is a nice hidden path here around the outside edge. That's what I said.
Looks like a hedge maze.
That's what I came up with. And I stitched here we are. This is on an 18 count, hand dyed by the Slovak Farm in Cleveland Fog, Joni's favorite color. I finished this motif. This guy right here. Let's get him in there, we go. Finished that motif, and that was 300 stitches even. We are moving right along on cardinal points. Not on the finishing goals for the year, because I don't think I'll be able to do that.
No, that is a.
I
I
love
got
that
my
one, though.
stitches. I'll see you in 2 weeks.
I do love that one, though.
You don't like stitching on it.
I do like stitching on it.
I have heard more coming out of that thing. I think the only one you've growled at more is Nativity.
I don't really growl at that one.
Okay, growl and I quote, I can't count.
Oh, no. That one I count on well. The other stuff that I can't count on. We'll get there. We'll get there. So then we had to stitch on something that we were dangerously obsessed with. I mean, I'm so obsessed with Lord of the Rings, I'm stitching a full coverage, people. It is a Tilton Crafts. It is a full coverage. I realized stitching it, his crown right there, right in here, it's on the first page.
Wait, that was the first page your finger moved on?
Yeah. There's 20 pages. They're not all full pages.
That's one thing I like about Dragons of Sumatra. It's evenly 9 pages.
They're not all full pages. It's okay. This is stitched on an 18 count white Aida. It's my blanket. That's my start. That is 300 stitches. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yes. That's my start. It's 300 stitches.
The theme music for Tetris just played through my head. Dun, dun,
I will
dun.
say this is a nice project for counting stitches because 300 stitches in 3 blocks. I'm probably going to drive, if you watch our videos and you do full coverage and you park and you do like diagonals or rows or whatever, I'm going to drive you nuts because I'm just going to do blocks as I get assignments for stitch count blocks and it fits. They may be next to each other, they may not. So I don't get stitching lines because that's a common problem.
Stitching lines?
Yes, I'll explain later. If you do full coverages, you know what I mean. I may break down and get another 11 by 11 Q-snap.
I have an extra, I think.
Just so I can keep this on a Q-snap because this is a lot of fabric. So, then, we had to stitch on something. Did I put it back in? Yes, I did. We had to stitch on something that had gold thread, or gold metallic thread, or gold beads on it. It couldn't be gold DMC. It couldn't be a substitute in. It had to be called for in gold metallic or gold beads. Lady of the Flag calls for high luster gold metallic in her banner and up in here. And it calls for gold beads up in here. So we didn't have to stitch on the gold metallic or the gold beads. It just had to be called for in the chart. So I stitched on
Good, because
her.
that would have been a
her
lot
flag.
of counting.
It would have. I finished the beads on her flag. And then I stitched in here on her flag. And that was 304 stitches. She is stitched on a 32 count hand dyed by the Slovak farm For Your Thoughts. Sorry, coughing. And that, sorry, that completed my challenges for the week. So, I didn't add my extra stitches in. So, that was 2,589 and a half stitches. I still had some time Sunday night to stitch before bedtime. So I decided I needed to start the ornament I had planned to start on the last Sunday of the month. It is that snowflake. It's charted in
circle or diamond?
the circle one. The circle one. Because I don't know how to point, apparently.
The screen's backwards, hon. You're forgiven.
It is called Crystal Snowflake by Saving Grace Fine Needle Arts. It's from the 2019. 2019. Ornament issue, just cross stitch ornament issue. And this is my start. It is charted in 2 colors, a white metallic, which I substituted for a silver, a very light silver, and a light blue, which I didn't, it's not the right light blue, but it's a good light blue. And there's beads. I should have been done with this sucker last night by the time I started it. But let me tell you how many times I had to count this little corner. This little corner. It's not showing up super well. It shows up great in real life.
Let me try something stupid.
Yeah, you can see it. I think you can see it.
Does that help?
Oh, you can get the glitter that way. Look at that. So, I just have the silver metallic in because I had to frog that one corner. At one point, it went flying across the room.
Would you believe that I purposely was not in the room?
But that was 218 stitches. In addition to all of my other stitches. I can't do that math off the top of my head. So I'm not going to. And that was the Stitchy Week. I'm going to go find a drink now. We'll be back with haul.
Yay!
Haul, y'all.
Yeehaw!
So last week, maybe it was the week before, but one day I was sitting on Virtual Stitcher stitching, and Link is my homeboy, Heather.
If I ever see in real life, is getting bear hugged into oblivion, by the way.
Was stitching away on a project of hers, and I very nicely asked her where she got it. And it was a free pattern. She sent me the free pattern that she was stitching on, and then the other version, they were 2 Zelda World maps. Link to the Past, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Light World map and the Dark World map. So she sent them to me. They are free on Sprite Stitch. The version Heather sent to me is a little bit easier to read, she said. So, show them. Show the people your full coverage.
Yeah, I'm doing full coverage.
That one's Light World map.
That's Light World. It says Untitled. It's Light World.
These are both available via Sprite Stitch.
And this is the Dark World. Or the Sacred Realm. Or yada, 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 yada. Depending on what type of Zelda lore you want to get into, it's a deep subject. That is so freaking convoluted. Even the doctor would leave.
I don't know. I just got the patterns.
Come on, laugh. It was funny. The other stuff I got done?
So then we went shopping at Shelley's Saturday.
I got some floss I needed.
To start his
Epic Saturday. My fabric is currently in the process of being dyed. Got some bags.
Thread bags for his
And this one, what was the place we went to before?
craft gallery.
We went to Craft Gallery. I saw this pattern, but we really didn't need it. We didn't want to pay that much. And then Shelly got the exact same pattern, half price. Do I know when I'm stitching this? No, this is The Witch's Wheel
by Glendon Place.
Thank you.
So then I got some stuff at Shelley's. I got some more of the threads that I needed for our Aragorn and Arwen. Words. Thank you. Words are hard today. Wow. But I already put them in the bag because I needed one of them to finish my block of 300. I got more needles. Yes, I just got needles last week. No, I don't care that I have more needles because I need needles.
I'm going to need 1 or 2 of those.
And then we were talking about the new Shannon Christine Rose Farm on Virtual Stitchers. When I went to Stitch Night, Stitchy Twin said that Shelley had ordered her it, but where she ordered it from, she needed to order 3 of them. And I said, well, when they get here, just put one in your drawer for me, and I'll buy one. So I did get it on sale because I won a 40% off coupon, and I could use it on this.
Only because she had ordered it beforehand. Shelley was nice.
So, Rose Farm. When
I used my door prize to get this thing.
I have no idea when I'm going to start this.
I do have a question.
What?
Are you doing it top, bottom, or are you just going to straighten it out?
What do you mean?
Well, you could just line up the 2 greens and just make them all one long drive down the road.
I'm going to look into that. Because that's actually a really cute idea. Depending on how long it's going to be.
That makes one not as long as Wellington.
That might be a really good idea. Oh, hey, I don't have that.
That makes a good idea I've had today.
Okay.
It's a record.
That's it for haul.
That's enough haul. Any more haul we got?
It's enough haul for right now. I need to stop buying stuff.
All
right, moving along to plans. Plans.
Yippee!
And announcements. What's your plans?
It all depends on how long it takes for the fabric to dye, because I know it's going to be kind of hard to get it done right.
Yes.
If the fabric's done, I'm going to start with the light world. Otherwise, Dragons of Sumatra. Depends.
We will see what happens.
I'm doing full coverage. How do you know I like Zelda? And yes, I am putting it in the Zelda bag.
Because hashtag obviously.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh. Okay. It's Garfield Week in Daily 30. I know, when I saw this on Friday, I was like, Joe will love this. So.
Garfield is my spirit animal.
We're pretty, this week's proms are pretty, loosey-goosey, I guess, as far as connecting them to what you're stitching on. I'll explain in a minute.
Well, it's kind of hard to reference an orange cat.
Well, there's that. So, the first prompt, Jim Davis, Garfield debuted on June 19th, 1978. And Jim Davis's hometown is Munich, Indiana. So, we are asked to stitch on something that reminds us of our hometown. I'm going to let you guess what I'm stitching on.
I mentioned it earlier.
Of course, I don't know where the pattern cover for the one that I'm actually stitching.
Which one is one you're actually stitching?
This one. I am working on my Main Street series, my Main Street Wellington conversion. I'm currently on the dress shop, which will be Herrick's clothing store. And when I get it all done, I will tell you all the lovely story of the buildings. I think I may have
That
told you
might
guys.
be its own video.
I think I may have told you guys the story one other time. So
I still
obviously, Main Street is going to be my hometown because I'm converting the series to look like my hometown. That right there is pretty easy peasy. So then the rest of the prompts, I'm stitching on the same thing for all of them because I need to get it stitched. So Garfield was named for a real grouchy, overweight orange cat that lived on the Davis family farm when Jim Davis was growing up. Garfield, the real cat, was named for Jim Davis's grandfather, who was named James Garfield Davis. James Garfield Davis was named for the president, James Garfield, who was the 20th president of the United States. So, we are to stitch on a whip that we have renamed. I am doing a round robin with my stitching group at the LNS. And the first piece I got is this lovely collection of alien heads. Its title is My Little Aliens. I have called it everything from alien heads, big A alien heads, crazy alien head.
What was my name? The Plaid Alien.
I've called it everything but its real name. So, I will get some stitches in on this for that prompt. And that is what I will be stitching on for the rest of my prompts as well. I need to get my alien head finished by the 21st of February to return to Amy. And it just so happens that so much of Garfield Week is ambiguous and easy to work this into.
Mm-hmm.
So, Garfield. Legend has it that Garfield, the comic strip character, was born in an Italian restaurant.
I remember that episode.
And he ate all of the lasagna in the restaurant. And that is why he loves lasagna. So we are supposed to talk about where we were born. And we can stitch on a whip of our choice. Alien heads.
Actual one. He loves lasagna, but he ate all of the pasta in the entire restaurant. He ate the spaghetti, the linguine. Oh, I might know a thing or two about Garfield.
Thanks, Cheryl. Now I am going to have Garfield knowledge imparted on me all week.
It's
you I like, Cheryl.
Don't worry, I'm gonna stick it to this video. I'm just gonna
I love you, Cheryl.
I'm gonna cram it all into this video. And Cheryl's gonna be like,
Cheryl is my girl.
Cheryl is gonna get
Cheryl
is gonna I'm gonna probably give her some information like I could have used that for a prompt.
Probably.
Go ahead.
So our next prompt is about Odie. Odie was John's roommate, Lyman's dog initially, until John adopted Odie. So we are to stitch on a whip that we have adopted. Okay, so it's a temporary adoption, but I've adopted this for the foreseeable future.
You've adopted that alien, one of the 8.
I've adopted this alien. This is the one I'm doing, by the way. I'm making it pink. I should make its eyeballs pink sparkly.
Actually, you should do black sparkly to make it freaky.
I was thinking silver sparkly. I don't have any black sparkly. Actually, I do, but it's in a project. So, anyways. Garfield has accepted that he is imperfect, and he's okay with his imperfections, as we should all be. So we have to stitch on a whip that we have given imperfections. And so when Amy bought this originally all 8 alien heads were going to be on the project. However, the fabric was cut to the wrong size, and she really wanted to use that fabric. So, since there's only 6 of us doing the Sal, or doing the round robin, she modified it so that we only need 6 aliens. Plus, because of how the fabric was cut when Amy got it, it is really hard to put in a Q-snap. It's really hard to put in my scroll bars. It's really hard to put in a hoop, and my stitches don't look the best. So my stitches are imperfect. So our alien heads have lots of imperfections. And then she asked that we search the Garfield website, comics, because you can search all of the Garfield comics that ever were.
Jim Davis is awesome, by the way.
Pick a day and tell the group about what was going on. Sorry. In Garfield's life on that day, and we can stitch on whatever we want. Again.
Well, Jake, you know what my favorite comic is? I actually remember what it is.
What?
Some big dog was about to pick a fight with Odie, and Garfield jumped his butt, saying the only one allowed to beat up Odie is me, and promptly made the dog run away for his life.
Okay. So, all totaled, I need to do almost 2,000 stitches on the same project.
You? 2,000 stitches on a project?
In 1 week.
Your head's gonna look like that. Your head's gonna go.
I do have other options. Obviously, I have other options for.
Yeah, but you need to get it done, so you're gonna get it done.
All of these. I need to get this done, so I'm going to stitch on this as much as I can this week. I may get sick of it and switch to something else. I may not. It's actually pretty easy stitching, so it's going kind of fast, so that's kind of nice.
Ready for Joe's
Because I
random?
feel like I haven't stitched a whole lot lately, because I've just been in circles.
Would you like to know random Jim Davis facts? Would you like to know why Jim Davis became a cartoonist?
What?
Because he was asthmatic. He was an asthmatic that grew up on a farm.
Poor kid.
So he stayed inside and drew. He's like, I would recommend asthma for everyone, but it worked for me. That is a quote, by the way. That's why the guy's awesome.
There you
Plus,
go.
he does a lot for children's stuff and all that jazz.
Mm-hmm. So that's the plans for the week. I don't have any announcements.
You're awesome!
We love y'all.
Especially if you stuck around this long. You have weathered the crazy well. Soon you will join us.
Okay. So that's it for this week. We will see you back here next week, and you will see how much of the alien head I got finished.
I'll make her finish the whole thing.
My goal is actually to finish it all this week. It lended itself really well to sort of the ambiguousness of the prompts this week for Daily 30.
Actually, it's a lot of random luck because of the imperfection story and the fact that you're borrowing it.
It is a lot of random roll. It is a lot of random luck. It worked out really well, so.
Laura rolled a nat 20. If you get the joke, comment below.
All right. So, that's it for the week.
Okay, you can subscribe. There's a little bell thing down there that lets you know when we do stuff because YouTube's a jerk about letting subscribers know. So they added another button, the little bell. Like, share, comment down below.
All of those things.
With all the YouTube things that everybody says.
All the things.
All the button clicky things.
All the things. Do all the
Oh,
things.
and our social media stuff's down there too, right?
Yes, our social media is linked below.
I don't use mine that much.
No, it's not. That's it. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.